Hello again, it's me, Lee Benson. I'm going to read you chapter 18 from my latest book, which is called A Brush with Paradise, which takes the artist out into the Caribbean and has a lot of fun. Mostly. Chapter 18, The Next Lesson. After quite a successful first art class, I felt obliged to honour the second outing for the ladies. Wednesday came around, and as Lizzie was going uptown, I grabbed a lift with her as she practiced her racing skills along the dusty roads. Off to see your fan club, eh? I hear you really are quite a hit with the ladies. I arrived at 2:15 p.m. at the meeting room and felt more optimistic than the first time. After all, it was the ladies who wanted the second class. So I set up the room with an extra 6 chairs, then I waited. 3 o'clock arrived, and so did 6 of the women, followed by another chattering group with Tashelle and more in tow. Camilla also arrived on time. She wore a large, very colourful straw hat, with a long golden ribbon that settled on her shoulders. I couldn't help notice that all of the women had dressed up for the occasion. Good afternoon, ladies. Well, aren't I the lucky one? This is an art class, and yet you all look dolled up for a special event, like a wedding or the catwalk. What's more, you're all here on time. Wow. Or is there something I don't know? Laughter rippled throughout the class. Tashelle stood up. Mr. Painterman, we are the sisters thought we'd make you feel a bit special, seeing as we heard you're not so good at flying. Oh, shucks, news travels fast, eh? I raised my shoulders and lowered my head. My bro watched you fall off the tree. He said you were mighty impressive, said another of the women. It appeared that everyone on the island knew of everything that went on. I have a great idea, I said. Seeing as you all look splendid, why don't we all try to draw each other? I want you to pair up, sit opposite each other, and enjoy the view. It worked. And within a few minutes, they all began sketching. It was remarkable. The class was quiet as they all concentrated on their art. After half an hour, I strolled around the group to see how they were managing. They were brilliant. Admittedly, some were better than others, but all of the art was good. And then it started. Tashelle spoke first. We heard a life drawing and thinks you should model for us all here. Then the penny dropped. How naive was I? The women had colluded beforehand. You had to take your hat off to them, and a lot more, if they had their way. Excuse me, ladies. Life drawing is a whole different discipline, and we don't have enough time today. Besides, we'd need a model who could sit for us. Camilla looked around the room. We think you'd be perfect for the occasion. There was a roar of approval and applause. She continued, we don't mind a bit of flesh. Makes a change from our men. Tashelle stared at Camilla. You got husband already. Behave yourself. I quickly changed topics. Let's take a break for some refreshments, okay? There was a cafe-style bar next door to the meeting room, a bit more refined than a rum shack. Tashelle walked up to me and gently spoke. I wouldn't mind studying your body, you know? Maybe a bit of practice beforehand. Well, I should be flattered, but I'm not going to make a life model for the class. You would all make mincemeat of me, I replied. She took my arm. Not all. Just me. We could have a bit of fun, you know what I'm saying? She ran her finger up and down my arm. I think I do, but at this moment in time, the answer should be no. I had a pang of guilt, but not for long. Tashelle grabbed my arm a little too firmly. You don't know what's good for you, serious? I hadn't wanted to hurt her feelings. Women just stepped in the way and caused havoc. She turned and walked out of the cafe. Okay, ladies, let's get back to some art. Tashelle was subdued. The rest of the class bubbled away. Right, what I'd like you to do now is to close your eyes and imagine something that makes you happy. The noise levels peaked with laughter, and I blushed. Ladies, you do mock my intent. I mean, keep it clean now. There's a man present in the room. Conjure up in your minds a setting sun or something beautiful. Think of the colours that make you feel good. Now hold that thought for a while. I looked around the room, and they all had their eyes shut, and for a brief moment, It was all quiet again, but not for long. They scribbled away, drew and chatted again. Carmela stood up. We have enjoyed your patience in the classes. Why don't you stay here and do more? We decides we like you. That's so, sisters? They all cheered and clapped. I didn't know what to say. It was the most humble man that shed a tear. Tashel walked up to me. Me want you to stay a while. You know what I mean? I looked at her. I do, but I have responsibilities and I have a life back home and stuff, and I really had no honest answer to give her. I mean, why not stay? What did I really have back in Blighty? That thought stuck with me and laid heavy on my soul. You need warmth and soul food, some loving, sunshine and me. That's what you really need? Me knows. Tasha was being serious. She stood in front of me and looked straight through my eyes into my heart. I'd never had someone tell me what I needed before. I was always told what to do. Thereby hung a consideration I'd never encountered before, ever. She was a lovely lady. That apart from my classes and having purchased some supplies, I knew nothing about her. You sell me the idea really well, Tashel. See, I remember your name. We can talk some more another time and you may try and convince me. How's that? Yeah, men, you don't know what good for you when it's right between your eyes. She winked and left the hall. Something inside of me brought me back to my senses. It was my conscience. The end of chapter 18.